The association should always be preparing and include emergency preparations in every budget discussion. Keeping up-to-date records, knowing the insurance regulations, vendors, chain of command, responsibilities as defined in the association documents, all of these are components for proper emergency preparation. Hurricane season begins on June 1st, but we start preparing each and every year at least as early as the spring. The proper staffing during the event of a storm depends on if the property is fully staffed or if they have no on-site staff. For a fully staffed property, there should be no additional personnel necessary, as everyone should have specific procedures and protocols that they will follow in the event of a storm. For a property that has no on-site staff, we lean in on rely on vendors which have also their own standard operating procedures that have been negotiated and determined beforehand. The manager's role during a tropical storm or hurricane warning is to establish and maintain communication with the boards and residents. At this time, standard operating procedures for emergency situations have already been established. So it's the manager's role to make sure that vendors and the community are all informed and adhering to those policies. Some of the tools that we use for communication can be website, text, emails, and even resident alert systems. From a board's perspective, their job is to keep in close contact with the management team and lean on them for support. The residents should have all of their important phone numbers ready. They should have emergency contacts ready and make sure that the area around their unit has already been cleared of any items that could become a detriment to the community, so that those items should be secured. The association can make sure that staff is properly trained by supporting ongoing preparation internally, as well as staff meetings as the crisis approaches. Reading through the standard operating procedures and hurricane guides to know what to expect from the staff. Also be available for group chats and virtual meetings to make sure that everyone is communicating and on the same page. A community can ensure its vendors know what to expect of them before, during, and after an emergency by having specific pre- and post orders that are designed to meet the community's needs. This is imperative because if phones are out, they need to establish where they're meeting, how are they communicating, how is the community going to be prioritized, who is the point of contact. When it comes to landscaping, which is one of the areas that's most affected in our communities, we should be establishing meetings prior to the season, at least in the spring. Have a tropical weather cleanup agreement that specifically states the rates, the staffing, the staging, the response time, the scope of work. Also, very important is to make sure that all of the vendors used for emergency cleanup are licensed, bonded, and insured. The association can ensure that the properties of part-time residents are prepared and protected in the event of a major storm through communication, and this is part of the pre-work. Seasonal residents should have a designated person or company that will help secure and review the homes. Many times this information is provided to the management as an emergency contact. The association usually is only responsible for the common areas. In any emergency, the community should lean on management for support and guidance, always being aware that the storm or event is affecting everyone. It is never advised to venture out until all danger has subsided and all watches and warnings have been dropped and it is deemed safe to be on the roads.